So there is good news here. We do have a recipe for same-day dough. Takes maybe 3 or 4 hours. Let's find out how well it actually works. We're in a bind. Let's make this happen. Tomato sauce. We're gonna grab our favorite can of tomatoes and some of this sea salt. And now what we're gonna do is add about a tablespoon, I like about 10 grams, right inside. Take your favorite GIR and we mix. That's it. We're gonna throw our grandmother's recipe away for pizza. We're gonna save that for pasta. The idea is to get your favorite can of crushed tomatoes. We're gonna heat them up on the pizza when it's in the oven and have this beautiful pizza sauce. You can add some oregano, you can add some crushed red pepper, some shaved garlic. Think of this as your base sauce. We're gonna make our same-day dough, but here's where we're gonna need some ingredients. And I love to use these Cambros. These are awesome. I need my digital scale. I got a whisk, my bench scrapers. Let's get the flour. Love these buckets. And what I do is I'm gonna measure everything out. So turn my scale on. We're gonna use 500 grams of flour. So that is, let's see if I did that right. Oh, I didn't do my scale. I didn't zero my scale out. That's a must. Tear it. Now I can measure. So 500 grams, if I can do it in 1 scoop. 1 scoop, let's go. Oh, off by 50 grams. You know what? That's all right. 50 grams. There we go. 505, close enough. I'm gonna need some salt. And I like to use fine sea salt. So we tear this out again, and we're gonna go at 16 grams. Not a lot. All right, and now, I got 19. I like salt, that's okay. I need yeast. And we have to go to the fridge to get some yeast. Here we go. And the other thing I need, my tiny little micro scale. These things come in handy. These are great because they measure to the 1/100th of a gram, which is cool. So we're gonna zero this out again, change it to grams. And because I'm doing same-day dough, I'm gonna actually up my yeast intake a little bit more than usual. I'm gonna go with 2 grams. Because I wanna fire this thing up. We need to activate this yeast faster than a long ferment. And so how we do that is by a little bit more and also some hot water. So I'm gonna whisk my dry ingredients together, just like this. Once I whisk, I've nuked some water. And I want this to be about 105 degrees. I'm gonna actually close this. I'm gonna do it like another 30 seconds. And what that does is it heats it up just a little bit, which actually helps to activate that yeast. So warm water is a must for same-day dough, and maybe a tiny bit smidgen more yeast. So I went from 1 grams to 2 grams. My water is now warm. Close. It should be voice activated, that'd be cool. So my water goes into my, right into my dough mixture. I need a spoon or a spatula or something. So let me see, do I have something here? I do. My GIR, product placement. I love these things. They clean really easy and they're great to work with dough. So I'm just kind of mixing. And now what I'll do is I'll take this dough, I'm gonna remove it out of the bowl. GIR again. These things are great scrapers. They help clean the bowl out for this ferment I'm gonna do, or proof, whatever we call it. Scrape these things off. Now what I'll do is I'll take my bench scraper and I literally just press, and you can feel it, it's warm. I'm gonna press the flour and the water together, kind of combine everything in here, and I'm forming one big mass of dough. And it feels great, actually. It feels like a warm blanket at bedtime, which is nice, right? In the winter. So what I'll do is As I press, it's starting to get a little sticky. I'm just gonna press any dry clumps that might be present in the dough. I press them out, just like so. And I do this for maybe, if I timed it, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. I can do a little faster if I work hard, if I press hard. And as I press this thing out, I know it's about done when it gets like really sticky to the touch. Okay, and so what I'll do now is I'll take this dough, I'm gonna put it, it's warm, into my bowl, like that, okay? I need to cover this up because we don't want air touching it. And I have a nice little, I'm gonna use a little saran wrap. I don't have any more lids, I don't know where they are. Someone stole them. I make this airtight, and you can see, I'm gonna take the camera with me here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it into my oven. And what's great about the oven is that, you can see, close it up. I'm gonna keep the light on. That's gonna activate the light, which is gonna give it a little bit of heat, right? And that heat is gonna help it stay warm in there. And hopefully in about 2 hours, that thing's gonna double in size and we'll be on our way to making pizza. Hi. So we are about an hour into the proof, and you can see it's starting to rise just a little bit. It's getting there. We'll give it another hour, and then we'll make our dough balls. Stay tuned. Hey, it's been about 2 hours, and you can see our dough is almost, I wouldn't say it's doubled in size, but it's ready. Let's ball it up. All right, so we've got our dough here. As you can see, it's almost doubled in size. It's pretty cool. It smells pretty fresh. It's not super fermented, obviously. There's not a lot of alcohol and carbon dioxide in there yet, but we're gonna ball this up and then we're gonna make a pizza. Before I do that, actually, now that I think about it, it's gonna take about, I wanna let this thing settle for 2 hours. At the same time, I'm gonna fire my oven up to 500 on convection. You can see that, just so we can get that steel nice and hot. I'm going to make a dough ball. How I do that, I need a couple of things. I need a dough scraper. Here we go. Got my dough scraper. Get a little flour. And let's make a dough ball. Turn my scale up again. I'm gonna take one ball out of here. So I'm gonna cut this up. Let me see. I'm gonna make about a 200 and, call it a 200 and, let's see what I got here. 265, I like that number. So we're gonna use 265 grams. So flour up in my workstation. And now what I'll do is I'll pick this up, I'm gonna fold it in half. I'm going to make a dough ball. And I'm gonna be gentle with the glutens of this dough. I'm gonna grab each side and just lightly press in, almost like a heart, and then close it, and then turn. And then close and turn. And I continue the same sequence about 20 or 30 times. I'm getting the skin of this ball tighter and tighter each time I do this, getting a little bit of the air out of it, right? And we're gonna relax those glutens. I'm gonna press the glutens together and get all of them stuck inside of this dough ball so all the gases can naturally try to escape, and when that happens, the dough starts to rise, right? Because we're trapping them, we got them inside. So you can see the side looks like smooth like a baby's butt, and I've got this seam. And I'd be careful not to stretch and rip. I want to be gentle, but firm, okay? And I follow that sequence, put the smooth side into my palm, and now I can be a little aggressive on the pinch. And I pinch it, and I've got this beautiful dough ball ready for a pizza. And now what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna put it right on the plate next to this one here, okay? I've got them on my plate. I'm gonna cover these with a damp rag. You might want to flour a little bit, just so it doesn't stick. We're gonna let these glutens relax and chill out. In the meantime, we're gonna do a little dance. Do a little dance. A floss. And relax them, and we'll make pizzas in about 2 more hours. Let's check out that dough from earlier. Look at this stuff. It's been proofing for about 3 or 4 hours. It's getting kind of chill. I think it's time to bake. And now for the master pizza. Flour up in front of our workstation here. A couple of things we're gonna need: a spoon for our thing here, and then a pizza peel. Put that aside for a second. The dough goes right into the flour. Okay, and it's been proofing. You can see the bubbles. It's beautiful. Just lightly press it. Now it's not going to be as relaxed as a 3-day dough because it's just not. It's the glutens are still pretty strong, but we're going to stretch it out. Let gravity do its thing. It's still going to stretch pretty nice. You can feel the difference for sure between this and a 3-day dough, but look at those bubbles. It's pretty awesome. The pizza peel, we're gonna take some semolina flour, or actually just flour, and lightly flour this thing, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna step over to the oven, put it on broil. Boom, boom, boom. And now, the final stretch. Okay, that goes on the peel. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna give it a little shake, right? It's loose like a hockey puck. That's important. Okay, now for the sauce. Lightly pour our sauce on the center and then bring the sauce all the way to the edge, but don't go over the edge. Just like life. And remember, less is more. You see that? Now, before I do anything else, before I do the cheese, I'm gonna give it a little shake. Boom, just like that. And it's ready. Ready for the cheese, which is in the freezer. Got our cheese. It's nice and frozen. It's like, it's a little hard, which is great. It's gonna melt beautifully. I might take some oregano. Just lightly cover the surface here. Right? Now for the cheese. Isn't that pretty? I like to dab it, really get it heavy in the side, in the center. This is your canvas, we paint it. And now before we go into the oven, I'm gonna give it a little jiggle. It's shake. It's still loose like a hockey puck. That is important. Let's go peek in our oven. Our broiler is on. Now for the launch. Back of the peel goes to the back of the steel. We just shake it off like a hockey puck. Smooth as silk. Close the oven up. Put on a timer for about 2 minutes, and we'll check it out. Our bottom's cooked nice. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. So not as maybe bubbly as our 72-hour dough, but it's cooked beautifully. Underneath that, it's gonna be awesome. Let's slice her up.